The phone screen glows with false cheer, mocking me from my oak coffee table. Instagram's little red notification dot pulses like a warning signal I should have heeded. Wednesday, 12:47 p.m. The day before Thanksgiving. I tap the notification, more from habit than interest. My thumb freezes mid-scroll. There they are. All of them. The crystal glasses catch light from Mom's antique chandelier, raised high in a toast that makes my stomach clench. The cranberry centerpiece, her signature creation with fresh berries, floating in crystal tears, sparkles in the center of a table that stretches forever. Dad at the head, carving the turkey with the same knife he's used since I was little. Kyle and his wife Susan, their faces flushed with wine and warmth. My twin sister Brooke, perfect as always in her butter yellow sweater, leaning close to our cousin Rachel. Even Grandma Margaret sits there, her silver hair styled fresh from the salon, wearing the pearl necklace she promised to give me on my 30th birthday. My fingers tremble as I scroll through 7 photos. 7 moments of a family gathering I didn't know existed. The green bean casserole in Aunt Jenny's inherited Pyrex. The pumpkin pies cooling on Mom's windowsill. Everyone clustered around the piano while Uncle Jim plays, just like he does every holiday. Every holiday I used to attend. Brooke's caption sucker punches what little breath I have left. Perfect family gathering, complete at last. Complete. I check my phone for missed calls. Text messages. Some explanation that would make sense of this ambush. The screen stays stubbornly empty, except for Mrs. Reynolds' terrier barking next door, a sound that echoes through my bare apartment walls. 2 weeks ago, Mom called. I remember her voice, casual as Sunday breakfast. "What are your Thanksgiving plans, dear?" "Nothing set in stone," I said, hope rising like a foolish bubble. "I'm free if. We'll see what happens." She changed the subject so smoothly I almost missed it. Almost. "Have you thought about highlighting your hair? Brooke's new color is so becoming." I should have known then. The family group text went silent last week. Kyle dodged my calls, letting them ring to voicemail. When I texted him about meeting for coffee, his response came hours later. "Crazy busy with work, maybe after the holidays." Now I understand. They weren't busy. They were planning. My fingers shake as I pull up Mom's contact. 4 rings stretch into forever before her voice answers, bright as artificial sweetener. "Oh, Lena, how are you?" The false surprise in her tone makes my teeth ache. "Mom, is everything all right? You sound strange." I stare at the Instagram photos still burning on my screen. "You had Thanksgiving today." A pause, just long enough to choose her words. "Well, yes. We decided to do something small this year, just immediate family." I'm immediate family. "Oh, Lena." Her sigh carries decades of disappointment. "I assumed you'd be too busy. You never seem to enjoy these things anyway. Always sitting in corners with your sketchbook, barely talking to anyone." My throat closes around words I can't force out. She fills the silence, efficient as always. "It's not personal, Lena." The smile in her voice feels like sandpaper. "You're just not really the festive type." Not personal. Like the time they forgot to wait for me to open Christmas presents. Like my high school graduation when they left early because Brooke had a headache. Like every birthday card that arrived 3 weeks late, if at all. "I see," I whisper. But Mom's already talking about Brooke's promotion and Kyle's new boat and how lovely everything was. Just lovely. I hang up mid-sentence. My reflection catches in the dark phone screen. Pale face, eyes bright with tears I didn't notice falling. Behind me on my desk sits the last family photo I'm in, taken 5 years ago at Brooke's wedding. I'm at the edge of the frame, half cropped out, smiling so hard my cheeks hurt. The question rises like bile. Was I ever really part of this family? The answer stares back from 7 perfectly filtered photos of a perfect family gathering, complete at last. Without me. My fingertips hover over the Instagram search bar, muscle memory betraying my better judgment. I type my mother's name. Patricia Blake, a woman whose life exists in perfect squares, each photo filtered to magazine quality. February. Mom beaming beside Brooke at her promotion party. January. The family gathered around Kyle's new sailboat, champagne bottles glinting in winter sun. Last Christmas. Everyone in matching sweaters by the fireplace. Thanksgiving before that, turkey dinner with all the aunts and uncles. Pattern recognition hits like a thunderclap. In photo after photo, I'm not just missing, I've been carefully excised. When I was there, I appear at the edges, half cropped out or blurred in the background, a ghost haunting my own family album. The attic box of childhood photos sits accusingly in my closet. I drag it out, sneeze at the dust, and start digging. The evidence has been here all along, written in Kodak moments and careful omissions. My childhood bedroom, the converted storage space at the far end of the hall, while Brooke's princess suite connected directly to Mom and Dad's room. Kyle's old baseball trophies still command the living room mantel. My watercolor that won the state competition, buried in a basement box labeled Misc Items. Why can't you be more like your sister? Mom's voice echoes through 1,000 memories. The day of Brooke's Sweet 16, 100 guests in the backyard, 3-tier cake, professional photographer. My 16th birthday 2 hours later, a grocery store cupcake and Kyle's hastily signed card. My phone buzzes. Sarah. I just saw the photos, she says, skipping hello. Tell me you're okay. I'm fine. The lie tastes stale. No, you're not, and you shouldn't be. I've watched them do this to you for 20 years, Lena. Remember your college graduation? They left before your name was called because Brooke had a headache. I close my eyes, but the memory burns anyway. Cap and gown, scanning empty seats where my family should have been. The dean calling Lena Grace Blake, summa cum laude, to scattered applause from strangers. Sarah's voice softens. You know what makes me maddest? You're the one who actually made something of yourself. Creative director at 26? That's incredible. But they couldn't handle that, could they? Success is only success if it fits their script. My laptop sits open on the coffee table, browser still displaying the magazine feature about our agency's latest campaign. The one I designed. The one Mom never mentioned. Even though I know she saw it, she follows every design magazine in the state. Another text lights up my phone. Mrs. Reynolds next door. Saw those Thanksgiving pictures, sweetheart. My door's always open if you need company. I lean back against the couch, something shifting in my chest. All these years, I thought I was invisible. But people saw. They noticed. Just not the ones who were supposed to. The storage box beckons again. Deeper down, past school photos and piano recital programs, I find my old journals. The spiral notebook from 7th grade falls open to a tear-stained page. Maybe if I'm quieter, they'll notice me more. Maybe if I don't ask for anything, they'll want to give. Maybe if I fold myself small enough, I'll finally fit. A Christmas photo slips from between the pages. Twin girls in matching dresses, except one pile of presents towers, while the other holds 3 small packages. Brooke's smile radiant, mine wavering at the edges, always at the edges. My work laptop hums to life. The portfolio I assembled for my promotion interview fills the screen, campaigns that have won awards, designs featured in national magazines. Success they never celebrated, achievements they refused to see. The truth crystallizes, sharp and clean as winter air. Their rejection was never about my worth. It was about their inability to see it. My phone pings with an email notification. Jake, my cousin. Subject line. You need to know the truth about Thanksgiving. My hands don't shake as I click open. For the first time in 26 years, I'm ready to see exactly what I'm dealing with. The first line stops my breath. They've been planning this for months. The screen of my phone glows with Jake's message, each word a hammer strike against my chest. They've been planning this for months. Screenshots spill across my screen in rapid succession. Our family group text, the one I never knew existed, 2 months of meticulous Thanksgiving planning. Mom's crystal clear instruction floats at the top. Don't mention this to Lena. Below it, Brooke's response punches the air from my lungs. She'd just make it awkward anyway. My fingers curl into fists. The familiar urge to shrink, to apologize for existing, rises like bile. But something else rises faster, a quiet fury that steadies my hands as I open my laptop. The cursor blinks in a fresh document. Words pour out, then stop. No. Not another desperate plea for inclusion. Not this time. Instead, I create a new folder. Family evidence. Screenshot after screenshot drops into place. Mom's casual dismissals. Brooke's calculated cruelty. The paper trail of 1,000 little cuts, organized with the same precision I bring to my design campaigns. The irony would be funny if it didn't ache. Yesterday, Portland Creative announced my promotion to creative director. the youngest in the firm's history. My nonprofit campaign about family connection went viral last month, featured in Ad Week, shared by celebrities. The billboards I designed line the highway into downtown. Everyone deserves to belong. My bank statement glows on the screen. 6 figures in savings. More in investments. The financial independence they never acknowledged because it didn't fit their narrative of helpless, awkward Lena. The phone rings. Mom's number. I saw the photos, I say before she speaks. My voice surprises me, steady, controlled. I saw the group texts. I know this was deliberate. Oh, Lena. Her sigh carries decades of practiced disappointment. You're being dramatic. You wouldn't have enjoyed it. You're right. The words taste like freedom. I wouldn't enjoy being with people who don't want me there. The silence stretches. For once, she has no ready answer. My doorbell chimes. Sarah stands there, wine bottle in one hand, tissue box in the other. I saw your sister's post, she says. I brought reinforcements. While Sarah pours the wine, my phone lights up with messages. Director Johnson. That campaign pitch you mentioned, it's yours if you want it. Full creative control. Mrs. Anderson from the coffee shop downstairs. Join us tomorrow. There's always room at our table. Mark from the design team. Our design family has your back. I open my journal, the one I've kept since I was 12. Page after page documents the pattern. Forgotten birthdays, missed recitals, empty chairs at my graduations. Each entry written in a child's careful hand, hoping that if she documented everything perfectly, someone would finally see her. Someone finally did. Just not them. My hands move across the keyboard, creating a new document. Every slight, every exclusion, every moment they made sure I knew I didn't belong. The file grows, organized with brutal clarity. No tears blur my vision. No tremor shakes my fingers. What are you going to do? Sarah asks, refilling our glasses. I save the document. I'm done chasing their approval. My phone buzzes again, another family photo from Brooke. Everyone gathered around the piano, singing carols 2 days before Thanksgiving because they knew I wouldn't be there to see it. I open my email. The cursor blinks at the top of a blank message. Recipients. All 47 members of the extended family. Subject line. Why I'm no longer part of this family. Sarah reads over my shoulder. Are you sure? The truth settles into my bones, solid as bedrock. I've never been more sure of anything. My finger hovers over the send button. In my mind, I see them all sitting around Mom's dining room table, phones buzzing in perfect synchronization. I see Brooke's face as she realizes her perfect family narrative is about to shatter. I see Mom reaching for an explanation that won't come. Outside my window, Portland's lights sparkle against the evening sky. My reflection in the glass shows someone I barely recognize. Straight spine, steady gaze, the last traces of that desperate-to-please girl finally falling away. The truth stretches out before me like a road. I've spent 26 years trying to earn my place at their table. Now I understand, some tables aren't worth sitting at. My finger moves toward the send button. Wait, Sarah says. I pause. She raises her glass. To chosen family. The corners of my mouth lift in a real smile, the kind that never appeared in their photos. To chosen family. I click send. The message whooshes into cyberspace. 47 digital copies of truth scattering like stars. In the silence that follows, I feel something shift. Not just in the air around me, but in the marrow of my bones. I close my laptop. Let them have their perfect family photos. Let them toast their perfect harmony. Let them pretend nothing exists beyond the edges of their carefully curated frame. I have something better. I have the truth. And for the first time in my life, that's enough. That same day, the clock on my laptop reads 6:59 p.m. 1 minute until Thanksgiving dinner officially starts in homes across America. My fingers hover over the keyboard, trembling slightly before settling into stillness. The draft email sits ready, 47 family members in the recipient field. At exactly 7 p.m., I press send. The whoosh of the outgoing message sounds like freedom. I lean back in my chair, counting silently. 3, 2, 1. My phone explodes. The first text comes from Brooke, her rage radiating through the screen. How dare you embarrass us like this? Take it down now. The second ping follows immediately. Mom. Call me this instant. The third. You've gone too far this time. I silence my phone and turn to my laptop, watching the email responses pour in. Aunt Susan's sharp intake of breath practically echoes through her, "Oh my God." Uncle Robert asking if this was some kind of mistake. Cousin Rachel sending a string of question marks. My email stands proud in their inboxes, time-stamped proof of 26 years of systematic exclusion. Every forgotten birthday, every misplaced invitation, every family photo where I stood just outside the frame, documented with surgical precision. Screenshots of the secret group text planning yesterday's gathering. The Instagram posts, the Facebook albums, a timeline of erasure, presented in chronological order with bullet points and footnotes. My brother Kyle's response arrives last. "Mom, this is cruel. Lena's right, we've been awful." A notification pops up on my laptop. Brooke's Instagram post from yesterday, the one with the perfect family Thanksgiving photo, fills with comments. "Where's Lena? I can't believe you excluded your own sister. This seems deliberately cruel. Unfollowing. This is disgusting behavior." I open Instagram and navigate to my own profile. The photo I took an hour ago at my friend Sarah's house waits in draft form. In it, I'm surrounded by 6 people: coworkers, neighbors, fellow creative misfits who showed up with dishes and wine when they heard about my family's betrayal. My smile reaches my eyes for the first time in years. Caption: "Grateful for the family that chooses to include me." Post. The comments flood in immediately. Heart emojections from my entire design team. "We love you." From the nonprofit clients whose campaigns I've led. Their loss. From college friends who witnessed years of my family's cold shoulders. Mom's contact photo lights up my phone screen again. For the first time in my life, I let her call go straight to voicemail without feeling guilty. A text from Kyle breaks through my do not disturb settings. "I should have stood up for you years ago. I'm so sorry, sis." Too little, too late. But something in my chest loosens slightly at the words. My laptop pings with a new email. The subject line reads, "Damage control needed immediately," from Eleanor Wright, Mom's closest friend at the country club. The preview shows 3 question marks and the words, "Patricia, what have you done?" I click over to Brooke's Facebook profile out of morbid curiosity. Her carefully curated image of perfect daughter, wife, and mother shows cracks in the comment section. "How could you do this to your sister?" appears 5 times in various forms. Her weekly lifestyle blog post about the importance of family traditions has attracted a flood of negative responses. The carefully constructed facade crumbles in real time, one social media notification at a time. An hour later, my phone buzzes with a text from the doorman downstairs. "Miss Blake, your mother is here. Should I let her up?" I stare at the message, remembering every Christmas morning when my stocking hung limply empty while Brooke's and Kyle's bulged with presents. Every school play where I searched the audience in vain for familiar faces. Every achievement met with, "That's nice, dear," while my siblings' smallest accomplishments earned champagne toasts. The doorman sends another text. "She seems quite upset. Says it's urgent." A strange calm settles over me as I type my response. "No, Tom, I'm not available." "Yes, Miss Blake." I walk to my window, 16 stories above Portland's rain-slicked streets. From this height, I can just make out a figure in a camel haircoat pacing in front of my building's entrance. She looks small from up here, powerless. My phone lights up with a call from a number I don't recognize. When it goes to voicemail, a familiar voice fills the speaker, Margaret Truitt, Mom's oldest friend from Garden Club. "Patricia, I never would have believed it if I hadn't seen the evidence myself. To exclude your own daughter so systematically. I'm horrified. Simply horrified. Consider my annual donation to your Christmas charity gala withdrawn." A smile tugs at my lips as I imagine Mom's face when she hears that message. Her precious social standing, built on decades of carefully maintained illusions, dissolves like sugar in rain. Another text from Kyle. "Mom's losing it. Half her bridge club just canceled their memberships. Brooks locked herself in her bathroom crying. Dad actually raised his voice." I screenshot his message and add it to my growing folder of family correspondence. Not out of spite this time, but as a reminder, this is what happens when masks slip and truth speaks louder than lies. My laptop pings with a new email notification. The subject line stops my breath. Documentation request, Blake Family Charitable Foundation. The prestigious law firm representing my grandmother's estate requires an immediate response regarding concerning new information about fund disbursement. I lean on the window pane watching Mom's tiny figure still pacing below. The rain falls harder now, but she doesn't move toward her car. She's used to things going her way. Used to controlling the narrative. Used to me accepting whatever scraps of attention she deigns to offer. Not anymore. My phone lights up with a final text from the doorman. Your mother wants to know if you'll at least speak to her through the intercom. I imagine her face, perfectly made up as always, crumpling with the reality that her carefully constructed world of social appearances lies in ruins. That her invisible daughter finally learned to make herself seen. That actions have consequences, even 2 decades later. No, Tom, I type back. I have nothing to say. 30 minutes later, the doorbell pierces my afternoon solitude. My fingers freeze over the keyboard where I've been answering supportive messages from colleagues. Through the peephole, I spot my mother's pearl necklace first, the one she wears when she needs to command attention. Her Chanel suit looks wrong, wrinkled from hours of sitting. Mascara shadows beneath her eyes tell stories her mouth would never admit. Miss Blake? The doorman's voice crackles through my intercom. Your mother insists on coming up. Should I let her through? A month ago, I would have scrambled to smooth my hair, change my shirt, present the version of myself she might finally approve of. Now I press the intercom button, voice steady. Yes, thank you, Robert. But please stay by the elevator. I leave the door's security chain fastened. It slides taut when she pushes against the 3-inch gap. She is here. How could you do this to your family? Her voice wavers between fury and false concern. What will people think? Hello, Mother. The word feels foreign now, stripped of its power to wound. I wondered when you'd show up. Let me in, Lena. We need to discuss this tantrum of yours. I release the chain. She sweeps past me, designer heels clicking against hardwood. The sound echoes through my apartment, my space, my sanctuary. Her eyes catalog every detail, searching for ammunition. Your grandmother hasn't slept since that email. She perches on the edge of my sofa. Is that what you wanted? To break an 80-year-old woman's heart? Interesting. I lean against my desk. She didn't look heartbroken in those Thanksgiving photos without me. You're being ridiculous. We simply assumed that I wouldn't want to come. My laptop screen glows behind me, displaying the family group text screenshots Jake sent. Or that I wouldn't find out about the 2 months of planning, the specific instructions not to tell me. Color drains from her face. Jake had no right. To tell the truth, I open my bottom drawer, lift out a thick manila folder. I have something to show you. The folder lands on the coffee table between us. Inside, programs from piano recitals where they left early, report cards filled with achievements they never acknowledged, newspaper clippings of design awards they ignored, and photographs, so many photographs where I hover at the edges, half cropped out of frame. 26 years of evidence. My voice remains quiet. Every time you chose to exclude me, every celebration I wasn't quite invited to, every accomplishment that wasn't quite worth mentioning. You're exaggerating. You were always so difficult to love, so different. The words should cut. Instead, they confirm everything. The elevator dings. Brooke bursts in without knocking, butter yellow sweater matching the one from the Thanksgiving photos. This has gotten completely out of hand. Just apologize so we can move on. Apologize? I taste the word like something spoiled. For what exactly? Having boundaries? Telling the truth? Refusing to pretend anymore? You're ruining everything, Brooke's voice cracks. The country club is buzzing. Dad's golf friends are asking questions. Grandmother might change her will. There it is. I cross to my hall closet, retrieve an envelope I prepared weeks ago. The real crisis, your carefully curated image falling apart. What's that? Mother eyes the envelope. My final words to the family. Everything I never said, written with complete clarity. I hold it out. I'm releasing you from the obligation of pretending to care about me. Obligation? Mother stands, hands trembling. I carried you for 9 months. I gave you every advantage. You gave me a roof and food, the bare minimum required by law. I placed the envelope in her manicured hands. But love? That was always conditional on becoming someone I'm not. You'll regret this. She clutches the envelope like a weapon. When you're alone, when you realize what you've thrown away, the only thing I regret is waiting so long to stop auditioning for a role I was never meant to play. Brooke reaches for my arm. I step back. Don't. The word rings with quiet authority. You don't get to touch me anymore. I open my front door. Down the hall, Robert stands alert by the elevator. You're making a terrible mistake, Mother whispers. No, I smile, surprisingly gentle. I'm making a choice. The elevator doors open. They step inside, Mother's spine rigid, Brooke's shoulders shaking. As the doors slide closed, my phone buzzes. A text from Sarah. Dinner tonight? The whole gang's coming. My chosen family. The people who see me, who celebrate my successes, who love me without conditions or competitions. I type back. Wouldn't miss it. The elevator numbers descend. With each floor, another weight lifts. By the time it reaches lobby level, I'm standing straighter than I have in 26 years. A year later, sunlight streams through floor-to-ceiling windows, casting golden rectangles across my design table. The corner office still feels surreal, even after 3 months as executive creative director. A wall of inspiration boards showcases our latest nonprofit campaign, children's faces lighting up as they open books for the first time. My phone buzzes. Sarah's message appears. Everything's set for Thursday, 20 confirmed for Orphans Thanksgiving. A smile spreads across my face as I type back. Perfect. I'll pick up extra cranberries. No crystal tears needed, we serve ours in mismatched bowls collected from thrift stores, each with its own story. The intercom chimes. Miss Blake, your 3 o'clock is here. Send them in, Carol. My voice carries the quiet authority I've grown into, like a second skin. The door opens, revealing Marcus, our newest junior designer. Dark circles shadow his eyes, the same haunted look I used to see in my mirror. The mock-ups aren't quite right, he stammers. I can work through the weekend to fix them. Sit. I clear space on my coffee table, the one I rescued from a vintage shop in the Pearl District. Show me what you have. He spreads his work before me, hands trembling. The designs are beautiful, but I see what he means. Something's missing. The kind of missing that comes from trying too hard to be perfect. Tell me about your first memory of feeling safe, I say. His head snaps up. What? This campaign is about domestic violence shelters. Before we fix the design, I need to know what safety feels like to you. An hour later, Marcus leaves with tear tracks on his cheeks and a completely new direction for the campaign. My own eyes are damp, but my smile holds steady. A year ago, I would have pushed him to work harder, faster, better, echoing Patricia's voice in my head. My phone lights up again. A text from Kyle. Hey sis, Dad's birthday next week. I know you won't come, but I wanted you to know you're welcome. The invitation slides off me like water. No ripples, no pain. Thanks for thinking of me. Already have plans, but I hope it's a good celebration. The reply comes quickly. Miss you, lunch sometime? I consider it for a moment. Maybe after the holidays. Take care, Kyle. My calendar notification pings. Therapy in an hour. Dr. Warner's office has become a sanctuary of sorts, with its worn leather chairs and walls of books. Last week she said something that stuck. You didn't lose a family, Lena. You escaped a performance. The words rang true in a way that finally let me delete Instagram from my phone. A stack of RSVPs sits on my desk, responses to next month's gallery opening. My first solo show, featuring portraits of chosen families in all their beautiful, messy configurations. Patricia's invitation was returned unopened. Brooke's response card came back with a terse, unable to attend. The ache is there but distant, like pressing on an old bruise and finding it's finally healed. My assistant knocks, holding a registered letter. This just came for you. The return address stops my breath. Whitman and Associates, my grandmother's lawyers. Inside, legal language gives way to a handwritten note, the paper thin and fragile as autumn leaves. My dearest Lena, I saw you. All those years, watching from the edges, creating beauty in quiet corners while they performed their perfect family pageant. I'm sorry I never said this while I was alive. Words came harder with age, and courage even harder still. But I've made what amends I can. The trust is yours, no strings, no conditions. Use it to build the life you were always meant to live. And remember, belonging isn't earned, it's recognized. All my love, Grandma Margaret. Beneath the letter, the trust document spells out numbers that make my fingers tremble. But it's not the money that brings tears. It's the last line of her note. P.S. I kept every drawing you slipped under my door at family gatherings. They're in the vault at Whitman's. Your talent was never invisible. Not to me. The afternoon sun slants amber through my windows as I draft an email to the firm's charitable foundation. A new scholarship program, the Margaret Blake Fund for Overlooked Siblings. 4-year art school grants for younger brothers and sisters who create in the shadows of golden children. My office phone rings, the main reception desk. Miss Blake? The holiday party setup team needs your approval on the decorations. In the lobby, our staff has transformed the space into a winter wonderland. No sterile perfection here. Handmade paper snowflakes dangle from ceiling tiles, and someone strung popcorn garlands between departments. The corporate event planner looks horrified, but I see the delight on my employees' faces. It's perfect, I tell her. Exactly what I wanted. My reflection catches in the lobby windows, strong, serene, dressed in clothes I chose for comfort rather than Patricia's approval. Behind me, the design team argues happily about ornament placement, while the copywriters string lights through the break room. Sarah's evening text arrives right on schedule. Family dinner Sunday? Trying that new Thai place on Hawthorne. My thumbs tap out the only possible reply. Wouldn't miss it for the world. The setting sun paints Portland's skyline in shades of possibility. I am Lena Blake, and I finally know where I belong. Standing in my corner office, watching my work family transform our space with imperfect joy, I understand what Grandma Margaret meant. Belonging isn't a performance. It's coming home to yourself and finding others already waiting there. Arms open, no audition required.